Then, perfect. Thank you, sir. Yes, now it's a host, right? It is working. The fourth folder, type as SEABORN, Seaborn. Click on create. The next topic is SCIKIT hyphen learn, scikit learn. SCIKIT hyphen learn. Then machine hyphen learning, another folder. Then next folder, deep hyphen learning. Then the next folder, generative hyphen AI, gen AI. Next, next folder. Create folders like this. Each one is a module. Each one is a topic that we're going to talk about. Let's say right now we're going to start our journey with the basics of Python right from the scratch. So what I want you to do is go inside Python folder, everyone. Please go inside the Python folder. Right click the empty space. Just right click here. Everybody right click here. Go
Mm-hmm.
to more. Go to
Mm-hmm.
more. And in the little small pop-up, you would see Collab, Google Collaboratory. All of you
Mm-hmm.
see this one?
Yes.
Google Colab. Anybody not seeing this option? If at all you do not see this option, click on Connect More Apps, and then another pop-up would come. You can type here Google Colab, or you can just type Colab or Collaboratory. That would come up here, and you can click on Install, but it should be there by default. So what you do, right click, go to More. On the right side, go to Google Collaboratory. The moment you go and click on Google Collaboratory, you'll see a similar file as we saw earlier popping up like this, exactly similar file. But this time, it will not come up with any number. It comes zero untitled because this is the first file inside the drive. Mhm. Now, every day use this process. Now, what you do is you go here and type here day one GC. GC means Google Colab intro, meaning introduction, hyphen 23rd, hyphen 12, hyphen 25, and come out. Once you give, the first step is you have to give a name to your file every day. Remember, the files are auto saved now because we have created them from the folder. The file would be auto saved in that respective folder. Once you have gave the name of the file, I'll talk about what is IPYNB in a moment. Once you create a folder, and in that folder you create a new file, and then you give a name to the file, then you come to the right side extreme top. Please come to the right extreme top. You would see connect button. You would see a connect button. I'm now, do not click on that, please. Now I'm going to click on a connect. While I do that, I want you to observe what's going to happen at this place and at the very end right here. While I click on connect button, I want you to pay your attention here and here. Sorry. So I'm going to click on connect. Only do see, please do not do that now. It changes to orange connecting, and then it changes to green colored saying connected. Post connecting, it changes to green color with a tick mark. In the bottom, you will see Python 3. When you see like this, only that point of a time we can write code or we can write programs, not before that. Step 1, open your file. Step 2, rename your file. Step 3, connect on the file, connect button. Then you have to see green tick mark in this thing. Right? Please do that.
Done.
Done, sir.
Done, everybody?
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
what you have to do is once you see the green tick mark on the top and the Python 3 at the bottom, that's a confirmation that now we are connected to their environment. What Google is doing is Google is giving a free tool for all of us to use to learn and practice data science, Gen AI, and stuff like that at free of cost. They're not charging us a money. How they going to do? They'll ask us to use the browser, any browser, preferably the Chrome. Once we click on connect, we would be connected to one of their servers at their data center at a free of cost. That's the reason why only after clicking connect you would see the RAM and disk. As if you are buying a new computer, you would see RAM and disk here. Click on this on the right side button, the small pop-up or drop down. When you click on this and click on view resources, when you click on this little drop down and click on view resources, you would see that Google has given us about 12 or 13 gig RAM and about 100 plus hard disk free of cost. We can use it at free without a charges. There are limitations which we'll talk about it later. But every day during our course, without paying or subscribing or purchasing anything extra, we can use this a free tool and then complete our training. So when you connect, only then the RAM and disk would be allocated. Now see, if I disconnect, do not do, only look at my screen, sir and ma'am. When I click on disconnect and delete runtime, say yes, you will not see RAM, you will not see hard disk, you will not see a green tick mark at the bottom saying Python. So when you do not see any of them, this is just only purely a browser. What do you do browsing for? Browser for you either browse or maybe check your mails or stuff like that, right? Then only without connecting this it becomes a browser. The moment you click on connect, this browser as if it is going to become your computer. Everything that you can do in your computer can also be done inside the browser. When you see a green tick mark at the very bottom and the top and Python 3 at the very bottom. Now in the middle, whatever you see, this thing is a AI tool. We don't need it now. So you click on this middle icon once again, that disappears. It's a toggle button. You click on that, that appears. You click on that, that disappears. But all of you may be also seeing the screen in white in color, not like what I'm seeing. The reason for that is you have to go to on the very top, you see this file, edit, blah, blah, blah. Go here and go to tools menu and click on settings. And the first one on the left side, you would see a site. On the right side, you would see something called a theme and a drop down. Just click on the drop down You can choose the theme. Let's say you want to see it white in color. Just click on light and click on save at the bottom of that pop-up. Now your screen would turn white. Right? This is how you see. But we'll be working long hours before computer every day for years, right? That's the reason I change this one. I go to tools. I change the settings from light to dark. It is a little easy for me to see as I see for hours together. So you may change according to your liking, the theme, and do not select anything else here. Do not select anything else here. The only option you have to touch is the theme. Then go to editor. Sorry. Inside the editor, go down and select all these check boxes except the last one, please. Except the last, select everything else. Select everything except the last. So
Mm.
coming from the top, you will have in the editor, you would have everything here same. If you want to increase your font or stuff like that, it's up to you. But come down, ensure you select everything except the last and go to AI assistance. AI
Mm.
assistance, whatever you see, just let it be there. Later we will remove it. So the only tab we are modifying is the site. Inside that the theme, then going to the editor, and we are selecting everything here. And AI assistance, right now we are not doing anything. We'll change it a little later. And then you're going to click on close button. Now, once you have done those settings, let's come to this bar, whatever bar that you see in the middle. These are known as cell, C-E-L-L, cells. One of them is known as a code cell. The second one is known as a text cell. Code cell is a place we write our code. So let's write our first line of Python. We will say all lower letters, please, or everything in lowercase. Print parentheses and write welcome to Python. Welcome to Python within the double quotes. Welcome to Python in the double quotes. No space anywhere. Just write print in a lowercase. Then within the parentheses, welcome to Python within the double quotes. Then click on this play button. This play button, just click on that, what we call it as an execute button or run button. The moment you click on that, you see in the left side, you see a square box, a little square box right next to the cell. The moment you click on this play icon, you would see a number here. Try that. There we go. We saw a number now. That's a confirmation that the cell got executed. Once a cell gets executed or our code is run, you would see a green tick mark, just like how we saw on the very top. You would see a green tick mark and a number. That means the cell did run. Okay, 1 second. Done that, you see everything there, same icon,
Y-
all of you say welcome to Python as a print. Now,
Yes,
what I
sir.
want
Yeah.
you to do is close your file. Please go ahead and close your file. How do you close your file? You see the browser, the one that we have opened. Click on this tab, close, and go to your Google Drive, the same place where you have created a folder, and the file. Go there. It looks like this. All of you are able to see inside the Python. We saved a file called day1 gc blah 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 blah. If all of you see this file, if you see this file, just go ahead and double click the file for me, please. When you double click, that file would open in a new browser with all the same commands that we have run, and this would be saved inside your Google Drive forever. Throughout our lifetime, this file is going to be there with the same status, auto saved forever. We don't have to save anything. This way, you can know what is the topic, what is the topic that we are talking about, and the date on which we are talking about the topic, and we have done what have we done on that given day. Now, once we open the file, you see again by default it's somehow got connected. But if you see that this is not connected state, you'll have to click every day, you have to click and connect and then start our journey. At the end of the class, you make a practice to come here and just click on disconnect and delete runtime. Once you do that, the file gets saved in your drive and the server would be free for some other user like you and I. Somebody else will be able to use it. But your file will be safe right inside your Google Drive forever, right? So this is how we work with a Google Colab. Second thing, we see a lot of menus here. We will not use them in our journey. What we use, we will talk about it. Now, the first cell is known as a code cell, the place where we write our code. Second cell is known as a text cell. This is where you can write your class notes. For example, I'm going to write today we have we have learned how to open, let's just save, close a Python file in Google Colab. As if you're writing in your notebook, taking a class notes. Similarly, you can write here. Say in the text cell, you will not see a play button. Do you see a play icon here, or execute button, or a run button? Nope, you will not. Because this is a place that is meant to write any notes that you want to write. You don't have to use an extra note, you can use it here. You want to increase the font, just select that and click on this TT. So it changes into three sizes, little less and little less. So you can use to increase the sizes in three heading levels. If you want to make it a bold, click on B. So the text becomes a bold. And if you want to make it italic or beautify that, click on italic. And you want to add, let's say, some picture. We would be adding a lot of pictures. So let's say you want to add a picture. What you have to do is you see this frame icon, click on that, and you would see you know, a pop-up again or box asking you to select an image. You can select an image and then you can insert that image here. So this code cell is meant to write code. This text cell is meant to write text, everyday class notes. Whatever you think is important while I'm talking, you can use this one to make a note.
Notes to save.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, sorry. Mm.
So you can also go here and you see the bullet points here. So if you want to write as a bullet point, you can click on the bullet points and it will list would appear like here, and you can write first open Google Colab. Point number two is save the file. Sorry, not the save the file, name the file, give a name to the file. Point number three, click connect, click on connect, whatever that you want to write. And whatever you write would appear right below or next to the right side like this. Once you come out of that cell, come to the middle of the Google Colab, click on code, and your notes would be auto saved right here. Pretty easy. If you want to write a piece of a code, you use a code cell. You want to write your class notes, you're going to use your text cell.
Next.
Text cell is for writing a text. Code cell is for writing Python codes. And there are other menus that you see on the top, which we will not use every day. The some important menus what we use are on the tools that you saw. The settings is the important one. Then you go to runtime. In the runtime, scroll all the way to the bottom where you see change runtime type. Inside the runtime, go and see change runtime type. Click on that. You would see a lot of options here. See, by default, Google gives us a server free of cost, which is a CPU server. But there are some programs which we write needs a faster CPUs or more than a CPU. Like we need something called a GPU, known as a graphical processing unit, or a TPU, known as a tensor processing unit, blah, 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 which gonna cost us money. But Google, fortunate enough, is giving us sometimes a free GPU, sometimes a free TPU at free of cost. If not free of cost, if you want to buy, click on this one. That would be about, let's say, $12 or about $11.79 a month. Or you can buy once for a quarter, but we don't need it. What is the benefit? Your programs would run super fast. Let's say some programs will take about 2 days, 3 days to run consecutively, continuously takes 2 days, 3 days to complete. While if you purchase any of the options here, that program would be completed in less than 1 hour or 2 hours. That fast, because we are working with very high-end applications. We need a high-end, hi-fi CPUs or GPUs or TPUs, blah, blah, blah. But we will not use it. We will stick to our CPU. Wherever we really need a TPU, only that point in time we will use a TPU. If you use now, the free TPU given to us would be utilized and we may not have that option later. So do not touch that. Only select CPU. By default, CPU would be selected. Only select that. And in the top, you see Python. So this is actually meant for a Python, the Google Colab. Later, they have added a few more technologies known as R and Julia. So we can use this Google Colab notebook to write programming in Python or R language, or is again Python equivalent kind of language, and then Julia, any of this. But now we'll stick to Python 3. So what is the version of Python? We are using Python 3. And what version of a Python? This we don't really have to worry about. This is auto managed by Google, so we'll not touch this thing. So every day when we open our Google Colab notebook, that opens with Python 3 default. If you want to write R or if you want to write Julia, some point in time, then you have to change the runtime from Python to or Julia. But now we're going to keep it untouched. So the other menu we use after one-time use of settings is inside the runtime. You see here a couple of options here. The most important one that we would use is this one, interrupt execution. Let's say your laptop is stuck. What you do? Depending upon your Mac or Windows, you either press Control Alt Del or force quit, stuff like that on a Mac. So similarly, if a Google Notebook is not working or something is wrong, what you have to do is you have to come here, click on interrupt execution. That's like pressing Control C on a computer. If that's still not working, what you do is click on a restart session. You can see runtime, You click on runtime and you come here, you see option called a restart session. What happens when you click restart session? Look here on the top. This RAM and this Python, they would disconnect. Do not do that. Only look at my screen. They get disconnected and they get reconnected again. It's like rebooting our laptop, but our data will remain untouched, right? Once you come back after a restart, you see everything becomes a zero here. There is no number, nothing here. That means everything, this execution state gets deleted. So if you want to run the program after a restarting session, you have to click on the play icon. Now you'd have the cell number, you would have our text, and you would have everything else. So we would use the tool settings, then we would use a runtime. Here we would use some commands like interrupt or restart or run, stuff like that. That's all. We will not use any other folder or any other menu icon or menu. These are the two menus. On the left side, let's say now you have let's say maybe 1,000 code cells. So do you have to click on run every cell? No. You can come on the top and you can click on run all. The moment you click on run all, see every cell gets executed. You can see the order in which everything has run. Now because everything did run in one shot, you would see blah 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 blah. Let me go ahead and restart the session and show you once again. I'm restarting the session. There will not be anything inside the brackets because it's a first session. If I click on the first code cell, I would have number one. If I click on the second code cell, I would have number one because this ran and this ran, there is nothing inside. Let's say if I say hi and I write, now the cell number becomes 2. If I run this again, the number becomes 3. This way you can understand how many times you have run each cell. If you want to refer to that quickly, you can see it. And you see the below how much time it took for us to run that particular cell would be given right here, right? So on the left, you would see a lot of other options which we will use. The most important one we use is now all of you see that we went to Google Drive, Google, and then we went to Google Drive, and then we went to our folders and blah, blah, blah. The same thing that you can do every day is by clicking on this folder icon. Go ahead, everybody, click on the files icon or folder kind of icon. It would appear something like this. Then you go ahead and click on the top, you see the third icon from the left or the second icon from the right, a folder icon. That's a Google Drive. Click on that, it says mounting your Google Drive. And it says connect to Google Drive. Once you click on that, it may ask you a permission or it may ask you to enter some secret key or something if you are doing for the first time. I do it every day, many a times, so it may not ask me. Sometimes it may ask me. So if it is not asking anything, it will ask, are you okay to connect to Google Drive? Say yes and go ahead. And once you have connected that, on the left side now you would see something called a drive. This is the drive, which is our personal Google Drive. Click on the drive. Inside the drive, you would see something else called My Drive. This is the Google Drive. Click on My Drive and go to the folder that you have created right now. What was the folder that we created? We created a folder called Python inside, right? So let me go ahead and search. You would see Google Colab or whatever. If you remember the folder location that you have created, you would be able to see that here. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click inside my Colab notebooks and I see again my folders. Inside that, I'm going to EITA. Inside that, I'm going to a new one, the one that I've created, let's say 77 a.m. 12 And here I would see all the folders, the other batches that I've created, all the folders I can see here. If I want to go back and select R folder, you see here there is something called 7 a.m. new batch. Like this, you will see any folder that you have created there would appear right here. So go ahead and select the folder that you have saved. What was the name of the folder that we created for ourselves? 7 a.m. 2012 25, right? So let me go back. 7 a.m. 2012 25. This is the folder. Expand this folder. You will see all other folders that we created. Expand the Python folder. You would see the file that we created. All of you are able to see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can directly access our folder right from here. We don't have to go to Google Drive and do all of that stuff. If you want to access the file, just come here, click on that file. You can open that file right from here. So this is one that we use. Not just this, when you click on the folder icon, let me just minimize everything. You see this empty space right here. When you right click on this empty space right here, you would see upload. You can upload a new file, or you can upload a new folder, or you can upload anything. Remember, you upload anything from here, that would disappear when you restart your session, or that would disappear when you close your browser. It would not be saved. We do this every day to upload some files while working on coding, and those files we don't want after the execution. So we will upload here. Right click upload and select the file that you want to upload. Let's say I want to upload a file called this one, Canada income. I say okay, and it will tell me, hey, be sure about the file. Do you trust the file? Blah blah blah. And I said, yeah, I trust the file. Now the file is saved. Let's say I'm done with the class for today, and I'm gonna go ahead and for some reason I want to restart my session. I'm going to go ahead and restart my session. It gives a second, it goes ahead and reconnects to server. You see here restarting on the top, and you see the Python here. So we have our file here, everything is good. Now I'm done for the day. I'm closing my file. Tomorrow I want to reopen my file. So I'm going to double click on my file, go back to the files and folders. All right. And the file, I will look for my file. This file will not be there tomorrow. So if you want to save any file, the way that we save our file is we go back to the folder in which we created our file, and then we upload the file here. File upload, and we upload the file or folder right here, but not from here. Anything that you upload here would disappear.
So it will disappear after some time, or like
Yes, about 4 hours or 6 hours between that time.
okay.
That's the duration what Google gives us a free of cost. After 4 hours or 6 hours, sometimes 8 hours, depending upon the region. In India's side, sometimes it goes by 6 hours or 4 hours, sometimes 12 hours. It changes any day, but they can disconnect anytime. They have written it very clearly. If you have seen the contract while opening the note, you will see that they can disconnect it anytime if it is a free one. If it's a paid
Mhm.
one, then they will not touch it for 2 days or 3 days, something like that. Got everybody? So this is the one. After this, we would use the folder. You see an icon, little icon, the key kind of an icon. This is what we use to save all our secret information for programming. There are a lot of secret information which we need. We will use this key icon to save all of that. You see here, all of my secret information is here, but that's not visible. These are all my license keys. You'll be creating all of these license keys for various topics. So if you want to see a license key, you will not be able to see unless you click on this icon. Once you click on this icon, then you can see your secret key. But nobody else can see the secret key. They are secret. And I want to share this file to anybody. I can click on share. As we discussed the other day, you can give the email address of the person, and that the notes codes to that person. After the end of the class, I'll be sending all of the notes to you using the same option. You also written a notes, you created a notes or you wrote some code and you want some help to debug or troubleshoot that, you can click on share the button and give my email address, it comes to me. Or you can send it to Mantu sir. Mantu sir would pass it back to me. Right? This is how we're gonna use our Google Colab every day. Now let's get into the topics that we're gonna talk about. And remember, while we start 1 week, we will start using the Google Colab. After 1 week of a Google Colab, what we do is I'm stopping my screen share, going to reshare again. Just give me a quick second. Please let me know if you can see my whole desktop. So after 1 week, we will switch from Google Colab into desktop-based IDEs because in the
Okay.
corporate world, we will not use Google Colab. We will use various tools like this.
So we
VS
are,
Code.
yeah.
Okay, so we use
Mm.
either VS Code and we create the same folder structure. You see what we have created there on the Google Colab. So we create the same folder structure there, even here. And then we will write our code files, code every day like this. This is the previous batch before joining your class. I was on this batch, so this folder was open. So we will use this, or I'll also show you the other IDE, which is known as a PyCharm, which is also another famous IDE what people use. Right? So I'll introduce you to so many IDEs that we use on our real time. After a weeks of our practice on the Google Colab, we'll come to the VS Code. VS Code is a free of cost, a lifetime free. PyCharm comes, paid option. There are a lot of other better options, better features. That's why I use it. But that's not free. That comes paid. We have to pay some dollars every month to use that PyCharm with advanced features. But with the little features, you can use it free of cost. But we need advanced features for our journey. So instead of going to the PyCharm, we would use the VS Code, which is free for lifetime. Okay, so we will go ahead and download the VS Code from Google. All of you will, at the end of the class, what you do is you go back to Google and search for Google and type VS Code download, and go to the first site. Depending upon your operating system, just download and install it. If you are using a Mac, use the Mac. If you are using Apple Mac, you use the Apple Mac. If you're using just the Windows, download the Windows. And this is what we will use from the next week or 1 week of our regular classes. We would use this. So you'll also get a feeling how we do it on the real time on the ground. If you are new to the programming side, if you're already a programmer, just discard it. Done, everyone? Then
Mm.
in this particular one, which is our Google Close Colab, you see the file name is IPYNB. What do you think IPYNB means? Anybody? Any clue what is IPYNB means? Let me
Python
write. Yes, go
Python
ahead.
notebook, but
Perfect.
I'm not sure about what I is, but PY is
I
Python and B
means
is
good. I means interactive.
okay.
PY means Python. NB means notebook. It's an interactive notebook where we can write and we can kind of communicate with the notebook, and it gives us the real-time feedback. So we call this file as IPYNB. However, the default extension for Python is .py, isn't it? Python extension is Python. Let me write like this. The default Python extension is .py file. Wherever you see .py file, it's a Python file. But the same Python file, if you are using through a browser, it becomes IPYNB file. So at the end of the 1 week, let's say we don't want to use Google Colab, we want to continue using VS Code. What do we do? How should I convert IPYNB files into PY files? No need. Why? See, when you go to file, go to the very bottom, you would see download. You see an option you can download every file as .ipynb or as a py file. That means you can use the same file either in your local IDE, or you can use the same file even in the Google Colab. They are one and same. There is no difference there and here, right? So this is how
Yes.
we do it. And after one or two more classes, we would create a GitHub account where you have to put all of your projects and stuff like that, and give that link into your resume, stuff like that. So we'll also save a copy into GitHub and use the GitHub every day to save our files and do our version controlling. Right? All of the projects would be there, so it is easy for you to track and update that inside your resume also. Then any questions on this from anybody? Okay. Now, at the end of the class, Mantu sir would give you a link where you can download the class recordings. It takes about, I think, 1 hour or 2 hour, I don't know, some time for them to send the link, the Google folder link. In that Google folder link, you will see different folders by tomorrow, and all of your class notebooks, meaning like the theory that is required, I will upload those class notebooks. Then you will have code notebooks. This is called a code note. You will see code notes there, and you will see some other folders and files also inside that. So whenever you have a time, go ahead and please read those notes and do the practices that I give there. So it becomes a very perfect session for all of us to connect and work together. Right?
Sure.
With that, I'll stop here for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Any questions for today, sir?
No.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.